Hi, welcome back to West Coast Geeks. I'm your host, Joaquin. How we doing, people? You know who's with me.
Hey everyone.
It's Greg. So, this is our D&D videos that we're now going to start concentrating more on. So, we got the top 10 Druid cantrips for first level. Now, to remind everybody who are new players, only get 3 picks. Now, as you expand in your levels, you'll get to add, but whatever 3 spells you pick, that's it. So if this is your first time to the channel, hello, thanks for stopping by. Midway through it, if you're enjoying the content, give us a like button, and if you make it to the end, hit the subscribe so you don't miss a video. So Greg, have you ever played a druid?
Nope.
What's your impression of a druid?
Uh, Dumb. I
I
don't
would have
like them.
I would have killed you if you would have made me spit my hot cocoa all over my laptop. I would take a sip and you're like double like you don't like druids?
No, why do I want? No.
I mean, I know they kind of nerfed them in 5th edition. Like the same thing with the Rangers. By not letting them get an animal companion. I'm like, what the hell is that? Like the whole point of being a druid is like, yeah, I got a bear or a saber-toothed tiger or a giant wolf, a dire wolf. Nope. Like I chose this picture because it has the eagle. You don't even get that. You have to go buy one. Or you just have to keep casting animal friendship on it every day. Man, that's just wrong, people.
It wants to run away.
Well, for those of you who do take a druid class, I've played a druid. I've seen some really good character people play druids. They are fun to
You
play.
haven't.
Despite you didn't think
No, they're
that
not.
you did,
Don't lie to the people.
you don't think that Miss Nina didn't play a good druid? Yeah, that's what I thought.
They're whatever. They're all hippie vegetarians.
Yeah, I didn't think Greg was gonna be this combative on on some Cantrip videos. So, whether you like playing druids or not, for those of you who do, we're gonna be using our expertise to help you decide which 3 spells to pick. So, regardless of whatever spell class you do play, what do you usually pick, Greg? Do you take like 1 combat spell and 2 spells to be useful, or do you take 2 combat spells and another spell to a utility?
Why would you take two combat spells or cantrips? You just take one.
Well, that's why I
You
asked.
you, you always take one and only one.
All right. So, we're going to show you the other spells you have a choice from to help you. So, starting off with number 10, Magic Stone, the cantrip. Casting time, bonus action, touch, 1 minute duration, bludgeoning damage, range attack, transmutation. You touch 1 to 3 pebbles and imbue them with magic. You and somebody else can make a range attack, excuse me, with one of the pebbles by throwing it or hurling it with a sling. If thrown at the range of 60 feet, if somebody else attacks with the pebbles, the attacker can add your spell casting ability, not the attackers, to the attack roll. On a
The
hit,
attack roll or the damage roll?
on the attack roll,
Attack roll?
on
Really? Okay.
yeah, um, on a hit, the target is bludgeoning damage 1d6 plus your spell casting ability modifier. Hit or miss, the the spell then ends on the stone. So you still have the other 2 stones. If you cast this again, the spell ends early on any other pebble still affected by it. So it is a bonus action. So that's good.
Yeah, because it would be absolutely worthless without it being a bonus action.
Sorry. It jumped ahead. Oh my god. Yeah, and you know what? Um and it doesn't
You can
stack
throw
in
rocks at things.
damage. I know. I was like, "Are you serious?" Most of all of these, I was
You
like,
can throw rocks at ghosts instead of just throwing rocks through ghosts.
"Yeah." I mean,
Yay!
I was, I was like, "Whoa!" I thought that it did more damage. Sorry, people. I'm actually got to look this up. I was like, I thought I copied and pasted everything right on there. All right, Magic Stone. I think this is from the Xander cards. Yeah. Nope. It does. You know, if it's stacked like every other cantrip spell does, maybe. Maybe. I mean, I don't know. Every character is different. These are just our recommendations. Any channel that you watch, those are not set in stone. I mean, most of the advice that you're getting from these types are from players who are trying to min max their characters. So that's what these videos are for. But they also give you a chance to look at other variations and what you can do. So that's why we
Play a
put.
wizard or a cleric.
Yep.
You can do everything a druid does, but better.
Yeah, but druids do wild shape though.
One of them do. Well, one of them does it well. One of the circles.
Yeah. Look, when we get to do our druid video, um, we'll be having more of those debates. But for right now, you're playing a druid, and you haven't been discouraged by Greg yet. We're gonna move on to number 9.
You can only
Create
take how many cantrips?
3.
You can't
Create
take. You can't. So why do we have top 10?
because you get to choose. Why do you have top 10 in any of those videos?
Only take 3.
And you're killing me, Greg. All right. Create, create Bonfire is number 9. It is a concentration, 1 action, 60 feet. Concentration 1 minute. You create a bonfire on the ground that you can see what's in range. Until the spell ends, a magic bonfire fills a 5-foot cube. Any creature in the bonfire space when you cast the spell must succeed in a dexterity saving throw or take 1d8 fire damage. A creature must also make a saving throw when it moves into the bonfire space for the first time or ends its turn there. So, this one does stack. The bonfire ignites flammable objects in the area that aren't being worn or carried, which I never understood why they did that. I mean,
Because it'd be way too powerful for a cantrip.
I was like, it's fire.
Right, but if you wear something, you can't catch on fire.
Yeah,
You know that.
I know. All right. So it does 1d8. Um, yeah, it does 1d8, and then at 5th, it does 2d8. I don't know
Yeah.
about Bonfire. I mean, at least it does 1d8. It can be used to
During the course of the campaign, it'll save you like 10 copper for the cost of matches.
no. No, but you could like strategically place it someplace, right? And,
Sure. You can also pile up some wood and light a match and strategically place the bonfire that way.
yeah, but this is the middle of combat. Stop being so brutal. All right, number 8 is Frostbite. So Frostbite is casting time, 1 action, 60-foot range. This is a this See, Greg doesn't like con saves, and I agree with him with it. The reason why, because most creatures have good cons, so you really want like wisdom or intelligence, mostly wisdom checks.
It's the
So
one unfortunate part about how 5th edition works out.
yeah,
Is that the creatures are all con save heavy.
well, I mean these creatures. I mean most of the creatures have to be durable. If you're talking about like the
Yeah, but
humanoids and stuff.
yeah, it just that they should maybe not have so many spells rely on con saves.
Yeah, like this one should kind of
'Cause
be
they have,
a
they have, they have to have high cons because the fighter classes would just kill them.
yep.
I don't know. I don't have a solution for that, but it's just that all the spells that go after con save are usually pretty bad, just because they're go after con save instead of anything else,
So you cause numbing
which is
frost to
unfortunate because some of it could be cool.
yeah. Let me read the spell description. You cause numbing frost to form on one creature that you can see within range. The target must make a Constitution saving throw. On a failed save, the target takes 1d6 cold damage and a disadvantage on its next weapon attack if it makes it before the end of the next turn. So the plus side, it's ranged. Does 1d6. They make a fail. They're at disadvantage with a weapon attack.
This is the perfect spell if you want to be an anesthesiologist. Like, okay, we're gonna make your arm go numb, and then we can saw it off.
Jeez.
I don't know. I mean, what else? That's the best use for it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really see that many people taking that. Mending is a nice utility spell to take. It's a 1 minute transmutation spell. Um, this spell repairs a single break, tear in an object you touch, such as a broken chain link, two halves of a broken key, torn cloak, a leaking water skin. As long as the break or tear is no longer than a foot in any dimension, you mend it, leaving no trace of former damage. Spell can physically repair a magic item or construct, but the spell can't restore magic to such objects. So, if you are, an Eberron, right, and you're playing those constructs, and yeah, mending's really good. This is one of those spells that every now and then comes up to be very useful, but
Yeah,
not every session you're going to be mending something. So, just think about that.
right. Yeah.
You know. Moving on, number 6. Shape Water. Cantrip, one action, 30 feet, instantaneous, and damage effects control. You could choose an area of water that you can see within a range and that fits a 5-foot cube. You manipulate it in one of the following ways. You instantaneously move or otherwise change the flow of the water as you direct in 5 foot in any direction. The movement doesn't have enough force to cause damage. You cause the water to form into simple shapes and animate at your direction. This changes for 1 hour, lasts for 1 hour. You change the water's color or opacity, I pronounce that. The water
Maybe
must be changed. What was that, Greg?
opacity.
Opacity, thank you. Water must be changed in the same way throughout. This change lasts for 1 hour. Um, you freeze the water provided there are no creatures in it. Like if you could freeze creatures in water, this cantrip would be amazing. The water unfreezes in 1 hour. If you cast this multiple times, you can have no more than 2 of its non-instantaneous effects at a time, and you can dismiss such an effect as an action. So I was
You
telling
can make a
Greg,
10-foot bridge,
yeah, you can make
ten
a
foot bridge
10-foot
of ice.
bridge,
Of
or
ice. But you
actually,
also create a dam, and then the water flows over it.
but what you can also do, even though it's 10 foot, you can make a square, dismiss a square, make a square, dismiss a square, and then you
Yeah,
can
because
walk.
that's gonna work out well. And
Huh?
then you can just jump from one to the other.
No. So you put your first square down, you put your second square down, you walk on the second square, you dismiss the first square, put your
Oops.
first square down, and you move, and then you
Uh-huh.
dismiss the other one.
Right. And what does the rest of the party do?
Well, this is the druid who takes the rope and then goes in and puts it around a big rock or a tree. Or Mr. Druids are worthless. Once it gets to the other side, maybe he turns into like a big bear or something to secure the rope. Ah,
He turns
yeah.
into a big bear. Yeah, sure.
Ugh. So, Greg's not too fond on druids, but I used to play druids in second edition. I thought they were cool and they were fun back then.
Well, they're really good at low levels. Yay. They just don't level up well.
No, they don't. All right. So number 5 is Thunderclap. Sounds like a venereal disease. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, Thunderclap. What the hell? So it's a cantrip, 1 action, 5 feet, instantaneous, invocation. Here's the problem with it. Con save. You create a burst of thunderous sound that can be heard 100 feet away. And you're like, oh, that's cool. Each creature within the range other than you must succeed on a con save or take 1d6 thunder damage. You're like, oh, 100 feet away. Nice. But then you look at the range and it's 5 feet. You're like, oh. So unless you're surrounded by, like, goblins or kobolds or, small
Or
spiders or whatever, you know,
so most of them will make the save anyway because it's con, right?
yeah. But,
And then also your allies will have to make the saves too.
well, you don't cast it while they're there.
And it's so when you're like party when you're with your party like you're supposed to be, you can't even use it,
I don't know. This is a very situational spell. I mean,
which is a very don't takeable spell.
I don't know about that. There are some uses
No,
for
no,
it.
the word very situational. Okay, then it has to be absolutely amazing.
Well,
If
speaking of
it's both,
number of
if it's
amazing,
both not good and situational, it's don't take.
number 4 is guidance. So Gray can't talk crap about guidance. Guidance is actually a
Yeah,
really good
it,
cantrip.
it's a cleric spell, and therefore it's good.
You touch one willing creature. Once before the spell ends, the target can roll a d4 and add the number to an ability check of its choice. It can roll the dice before or after making the ability check. So, yeah, I mean, guidance is good. There's nothing Gray can't, badmouth guidance.
Oh, I like clerics.
Yeah, good utility spell to have. Basically, Gray goes, can't we just make the list 1 through 4 and call it a day? I was like, no, people should see the other options.
There's only 4 good ones.
All right, number 3. Speaking of a good spell, Thorn Whip. You gotta make that when you cast a spell. So, instantaneous does have a range of 30 feet. That's not bad. Six squares. So, you create a long vine-like whip covered in thorns that lash out at your command towards a creature in range. Make a melee spell attack against the target. If the attack hits, the creature takes 1d6 piercing damage. And if the creature is large or smaller, you pull the creature to 10 foot. Why wouldn't they just say if the creature is medium or smaller? Like
It also does large.
I know. But if the creature is medium, then you don't do nothing. You can't pull it. But you can pull large. But
Yes, large or smaller.
oh,
Smaller, not
oh,
large or small.
oh,
Large or smaller.
my bad, my bad. Joaquin is dyslexic, so every now and then misread the spell. I was like, this spell is stupid. All right, large or smaller. Yes. You pull the creature up to 10 foot closer to you. The spell's damage increases by 1d6 when you reach 5th level. It's 2d6. I like this spell. You may not always want to pull something to you, but the fact that you're just whipping it from 30 feet away is not bad.
You need to have friends that want your guys closer to attack it. That's why it's there. Have a barbarian friend, have a rogue friend, that kind of stuff.
Yep.
And
So, a couple
you
of
know,
things you can do with this, but it's a nice attack spell. Speaking of which, a nice attack spell with utility is produce flame because Greg goes, they don't have a light spell, and I'm like, no, they don't have a light spell, and he's like, what? Which is probably what caused him to start thinking that druids suck. So, a flickering flame appears in your hand. The flame remains there for the duration and harms neither you or your equipment. The flame sheds bright light, the 10 radius, and dim light for additional 10 feet. The spell ends if you dismiss it as an action or you cast it again. So the duration is 10 minutes. You can also attack with the flame, which I think is nice. Although doing so ends the spell, when you cast a spell or as an action or later turn, you can hurl the flame at a creature with 30 feet. Make a range attack on a hit. Creature takes 1d8 fire damage. So limited light
That's the
spell.
closest thing you get. Yeah, you get a light spell. You get to attack with it. I guess. I
Yep.
mean, sure, kind of neat. The light distance isn't that good.
No.
I wish that was like 30 feet. That would be, or at least like 20. 10 feet is just so small. Makes it barely worth it.
But that's your option. I mean, you could have a light spell up in front, and the druids usually are towards the middle to the rear. You have a secondary light sword in the back, who can also defend, him or herself. So, Fierce Flames, pretty good. I like it. And now, number 1 spell for druids is Chilele. So, casting time, which is nice. Bonus action, so you can cast it and then swing. 1 minute, melee attack, bludgeoning. The wood or club of a club or quarterstaff you are holding is imbued with magical power. For the duration, you can use the spell casting instead of a strength for the attack and damage for its melee attack using the weapon, and the weapon's damage dice becomes 1d8. The weapon also becomes magical if it isn't already. The spell ends if you cast it again or let go of the weapon. So the duration's like 1 minute. Good attack spell,
Sure, yeah.
you know. I think this is the case where you could end up with like 2 combat spells where you take like Chilele and then you take Produce Fire. So you have your, utility light spell and then you have a ranged attack. And this is for when you get up close and personal. And then it's up to you what your third. But in time they're going to start making other books, and hopefully there'll be more druid cantrips that we can improve the list on. So in like 2 years, when they introduce either 5.5 or go crazy and just say, yeah, I know we told you we weren't doing 6th edition, but we lied. Here's 6th edition. Everybody's got to buy new books again. So, yeah, the druids are the utility spells
Druid
are
cantrips are not very good.
yeah, they're okay at best. I think druids in 5th edition really start to shine in like mid-level when you know, pick a class and if you decide to shape
Yeah.
change, and that could be useful. If you are playing in outdoors, more like adventuring where you're not going into like caves or dungeons all the time, a druid can come in very handy. I mean, in our current campaign right now, um, my friend Eric, he's playing a druid. I don't know how long he's gonna stay in that until maybe he'll multi-class or something else, but I don't know. I mean, we're down the road. We are going to be making a why you should play a druid, and I might have to do that without Greg after hearing all this.
Is
And I'll just
Good
joke.
Berry a level 1 spell? It's not a cantrip, right?
No, it is a level 1. I mean, yeah, you're
Yeah.
right. It's not a cantrip. I meant to say no too. It's not a cantrip.
They should have made that a cantrip.
Yeah, I don't see why not.
It's
No,
only
because
like
it would
1
just be
HP
too.
per level. Yeah, because it's over and over again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you just cast it and then just have instant heal. I mean, even at first level, it's still pretty busted. You have enough berries to give to all your companions, and it's like it only heals
They,
1 hit point.
they
It's
make
like,
it weaker.
you
Yeah.
know, it's like you don't eat it so much for the healing. I mean, that helps. You eat it, so you don't have to eat for the day, which I thought was kind of busted. I was like, okay, so I get the healing, but to say that they never have to carry food again, as long as you have a druid. Take that, Greg. See, they got some uses.
Right. They're going to spread their vegetarianism to everyone. Here, have a berry. No, not you summon one of those deer so you can eat it.
Yep. So, yeah, I'm quickly looking through the player's handbook. Yeah, good berry.
See, that's
To
how you
chip.
should play a druid.
Yep.
You should play a druid as like a barbecue competitive person who goes to competitive barbecues. He goes to town, summons animals and slaughters them and barbecues them for the contests.
Okay, you know what? We're gonna leave it on that. If you found this
That's how you
video
do it.
interesting, leave a comment below. I hope you guys subscribe to hear more of Greg's thoughts on druids. Um, Greg usually plays like rogues and mages, so you know he's used to playing more powerful type characters. Druids are more finesse
What?
characters.
None of my characters are powerful.
Wizards and rogues,
I do
especially
not.
rogues, have really improved in 5th edition to where they can do some broken things now.
Oh
Um,
no, they were much more broken before. They're
yeah,
not as broken as they were. They're still pretty darn good, but they're not
yeah.
as broken as they were before.
So, I like people who know how to play a druid, and when you see those, like our friend Nina, it's nice to have in a campaign. You know, somebody who plays and plays as a character and makes their decisions on nature and tries to do things. They can get very creative with their spells and their shape shifting abilities that can sometimes turn battle or help you escape a situation. So yeah, don't. I mean, here's the thing: like everybody's play style is different, and some people do find joy in playing a druid, just not Greg.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, with that, leave your comments below. Are you going to play a druid? Did you find this video helpful to at least help you at your first level pick the right cantrips for your campaign? Um, do you disagree with Greg? And if you disagree with Greg, please leave a comment. I would love to read those. So with that, people, hope you enjoyed this video. If you're new to the channel, hello. Thanks for stopping by. Hopefully, if you made it this far, you will subscribe. And with that, we'll catch you later.
Yeah.